You know, for me too, my whole transition of who I am now, like I said, I grew up in the church, still actively in church, and try to find some type of counsel, recharge multiple times a week, not just on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I just remember growing up, every Sunday it was mandatory. It was, and still for my kids, when I go to church, all y'all going to church.
That's right.
Every single one. I don't want to hear, Daddy, I got, no. You putting your shoes on, you putting your good clothes on, and we going to church. I think when I got to college, that's when I think we have to do a better job, and not just, you know, let's get out of this religion realm for a second. I think as parents, giving your children safe spaces to be them and be curious, because I didn't have that. I love my dad to death. I love my mom to death, but only thing they know is church. We never talked about sex. We never talked about, we just knew it was wrong. We just knew drugs was wrong. We just knew hanging out all night was wrong. Weed was wrong. Drugs was wrong. But as children, the favorite thing that they like to do, or we like to do at one point, is ask the simple question, why? Why? So if you don't have a safe space to ask that question, why, without being condemned, or, boy, let me tell you something. Without that, it forces that being to want to find out for himself. I always tell, people, I have 7 children, and my daughter, Shakira, she's 15 years old. And my daughter, Sovereign Dior, she's 5 years old. Now, 2 different age brackets, 2 different walks of life. And even though I'm not Shakira's biological father, it's my job that I give her fatherly counsel because God put her in my life.
That's beautiful.
So I want her to talk about her experience when she goes to an after party. If she has feelings for a guy, I want to talk about that.
That's
because
right.
One thing about Boogie, I'm protecting my daughter from dudes like me.
Wow.
I was that dude that was a womanizer, a finesser, a juggler, all just for one gift: the keys between the knees. See what I'm saying? So I know everything, and I want to give my children that safe space. Man, let's talk about it. Come on now. Like, put your boxing gloves on. We're going to have to duke it out a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking verbally. And it's just like, I want you to ask those questions. I want you to ask questions. Now, I don't know about, how Mother Nature kind of does their thing with women. But at the end of the day, I tell her this. I said, Shakira, do you know you're having those cramps in your stomach? You know what that means? Like, oh yeah, I'm growing up. I'm like, no, you can start getting pregnant now.
Wow. I got a 9-year-old daughter, so I don't know that I'm ready for this convo, but it's coming.
But uncomfortable conversations need to be had at home, because if it's not had at home, one thing that we all know, if you're not giving or you're not filling that cup of curiosity,
that's right,
they gonna find it somewhere else.
Cam, my son came to me because I know what it's like to be 10 years old, and I didn't have an outlet, so I knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. I went in that room, his hands was under that blanket. I said, I wanted to be like, my dude. I said, boy, what you doing? He was like, nothing. I said, first of all, those are called hormones.
Yes.
He was like, Daddy, I'm having urges. I said, son, this is good. This is healthy.
It's life.
It's like, I said, what you feel is not wrong. Mm-hmm. The first thing I said to him is what I needed someone to say to me. Mm-hmm. This is not wrong. Let's process this.
Yes, sir.
Now he's practicing in the mirror when he meets a girl. He's like, what's up, girl? Yeah. He's throwing his hands at his hair. He's, but the physiological side of him growing up is, my body is changing. Is this bad? Mm-hmm. No, son, an erection's not bad. This is actually, you're gonna thank me later, but you gotta handle this the right way right now.
Control it.
You have to control it.
Because before you get into a position where, and Drake says it in his song, how do you know who's for you when anyone will go with you?
Woo!
So when you get into that point where that trauma was never entertained by a higher being that has your best interest and say, okay, son, like them hormones, they just jumping out the bando. Like we got to control that. If that is not controlled at an early age or at a time frame in your life where you can get a grasp of what's really going on, when you're in a position where now it's too late, and that's when corruption and forces in your mind, body, and soul, and in your life start to take over. And it's like, okay, cool, boom. No. We can't accept certain people that's in public eyes on a daily basis. They have this mantra about, I'm macho, I'm too good for counseling, I'm too good bro, you can't talk to me, you my manager, or you can't talk to me, bro, like I'm paying you, like da-da-da-da. But when people really have your best interest and they start talking to you and say, bro, it's not cool, dog. But instead of talking in a manner of judging, it's talking more so on a sense of like, bro, I want to help, dog. And I won't be me if I don't bring it to your attention. What you got going on right now, that ain't it. Let's find help. And counseling can also be found in a friend. Yeah. And I know more black people than I know any other race. So I only can speak about black people. Not a lot of us are able to put our pride aside and say, bro, like I'm going through those same issues. So for me, when I'm living my life and I know everything is always preached, marriage, this, that, and the third, but divorce ain't, like it's more people getting divorced. And
and church, and here's the thing, what God put together, let no man separate. The problem is some of these marriages God didn't put together. And so if you got a pile of doo-doo and then you put perfume on it, just because you put perfume on it don't mean it's still not doo-doo. Just because it might not stink as bad doesn't mean that at its core it's not rotten. And so the reality of marriage is that it's a choice that two people make, and you have to make that choice again every day. Yes. And ain't no amount of Jesus. I don't care how, because here's the thing, sex can't keep you married. If that was the case, then people wouldn't be getting divorced. People who are real fine and real handsome, they get married all the time. So cosmetics can't keep you together. Money can't keep you together. There has to be something else that makes you decide, this is who I want to be with, this is where I'm going. There's always going to be other options and opportunities, and I look at my life and I look at the things that I've walked through, and at the most broken moment of my life, it wasn't sex I was wanting, it was I wanted to be seen. And I was lied to by an invisible enemy that says you're invisible in your own home. So for me, it might not have been actual sex, but I wanted to hear somebody tell me that I was valuable, that I was good. Speak life. Yeah. And so my wife, in one of our counseling sessions, she was like, I almost wish you would have slept with somebody for all the hell you done been through. All of this, and you still ain't getting none. And I'm like, first of all, that's funny. And I didn't. Right. But the reality is, in the public space, wrong is wrong. Right. And the things that I've walked through were wrong. There's no excuse for it, but there are reasons behind it. And that's what I've been discovering in counseling. But I had to put my pride aside, because there were some counselors that when I would go into counseling, this is the truth, I would be able to see their problems quicker than they could help me identify mine. So now I'm coming in to be counseled, and I'm counseling you.
Right, and you battered.
Right. I'm like, let's pray, and I'm glad you crying, but I paid to come in here.
And I gotta pay you, for the hour.
So we were finally able to find counselors that literally I'm not smarter than, can't see into, and I'm able to begin to listen and learn. That's been a long process. Absolutely. And I'm gonna be in that thing for a while.
Yes, sir.
But that's the humility that says, I'm not okay, and I'm gonna stay in here until I am.
Right.
What's up, family? It's John Gray. You gotta be locked in on Funky Fridays this Friday. I'm with my boy Cam Boogie. It's the Boogie Man. It's the Boogie Meister. You need to come here. We're gonna talk all things manhood, relationship, religion, love, and a lot more. You wanna be there. You wanna know more about me? Holla at me at releaseyourroarlive.com. Oh.
Boy, he did this before. But that's tough. One take Drake out of here, man.